Robert, is that a virtual background that you use? What kind of microphone do you use? What about your lights? I mean, what kind of lights do you use typically? These are questions that I get all the time. So today for Vlogmas Day 7, I decided to do a quick office tour. Let's do it. So you ready to go on this behind the scenes tour? Let's go. Now, my office space isn't that big, maybe about 110 square feet or so, but the question that you really have got to ask yourself as you equip your office space, as you develop things, is what exactly is your use case? What is the thing that you're going to do most in that office space? In my case, I do a lot of live streaming, but I also do virtual keynotes where I need to stand up quite a bit. I do virtual workshops where I need to stand up quite a bit as well. And so that's really how I've outfitted my office. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the basics. As I said, this room's not really a big room, but it's my office. Yeah, anyway, so just kind of starting with the basics. The desk itself is a mobile workstation, two-tiered, that I've added a couple of things to. I've added a pad here just to rest some things on. And then of course, I use a keyboard tray. And then of course, you know, you've got the mic stands and then a couple of mounts that I use for additional camera attachments whenever I need to. Of course, gotta have the eCam cup. Yep. Actually, let me show you this thing right here. So this is, of course, you know what this is. It's a presentation clicker. And what I do is I use it to go back and forth. So this is a 7-inch monitor that's right in front of me, but that also is the control for this monitor that's right back here. So it's a 32-inch monitor that's in my background that I use for a lot of different things. I use it for presenting client workshops. A lot of times, although, I just use it for branding different things. But let me show you this. So that is in the back. That is controlled by that is run by a Mac Mini that's mounted underneath. Like this is an older one. It's probably about a 2014 Mac Mini. And then there's the main streaming Mini that I use for the majority of my streams and work. Back up top here, I've got my DBX 286 processor, which of course helps me. This is all of the audio stuff. This is my pod mic, Rode pod mic that I use, and sometimes I'll use my Blue Yeti, depending on how I want my setup to look or my screen layout to look. But that, of course, is a USB microphone. But this microphone, the pod mic, goes into a cloud lifter, which then goes into my DBX, which I just set up yesterday. And then that ultimately goes into my Focusrite Scarlett audio interface. So the big thing for a lot of people is that if you have multiple computers, how do you control them? And I control them with the same keyboard and mouse or trackpad by using what I have is called a Kvm Switch, which if I press it, it allows me to go to computer number 2 using the same keyboard and mouse. All right. And so, of course, I've got a wireless or a Bluetooth keyboard. Then I've got my trackpad hooked in, and then just a couple of charging cables there for my microphones, my clip-on microphones. That is a Sabine Tech Smart Mic Plus. Okay, so let's take you up top. Of course, I've got a couple of Samsung monitors here. One I'm toying with. I've been back and forth between the vertical layout and the horizontal layout, but that's what I have right now. Those are 1080p monitors, but I'm looking to upgrade to 4K monitors pretty soon so I can do my spacing a little bit better. All right, so I'm taking you around the back here. So this is a Elgato Keylight Air. However, instead of having it on the desk, which I originally was using it, I kind of added it to a microphone stand so it's higher. And I've got a clamp on here. Sometimes I use a phone. You can see how old cracked up iPhone 6 that my daughter used to have. So I'm repurposing it. And then of course I've got my Lumix G7 in the back with that teleprompter hookup. And then I've got my Elgato on this side as well. Well, Elgato Keylight Air with the same extension from a mic stand. My Keylight Airs because the tripods are really big and they get in the way. And as I said, I've got a small space, so I really try to figure out what are the things that I can use to really maximize the space that I've got. So from a camera perspective, I just showed you the Lumix that is, you know, coming through that teleprompter. I have an iPad that does that as well, but a couple other cameras in here for different things. I've got a Logitech 922 that's there, and I've got another one that is up on the ceiling there so that I can get that back look from above if I want. And then, as I said, I've got cameras that I kind of hook there, or phones that I hook there from time to time. I have a couple of, yeah, I got a $2 bill. Yeah, but I've got a couple of iPod Touches that I also use. My boy's just coming in from outside, playing basketball. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I use those Touches just for sometimes being able to walk around the office, or if I sometimes want to go live on Instagram. If it's kind of a one-way thing, I'll set up my stuff via Ecamm this way, and then I'll do another view through Instagram with one of those. Lastly, there's one more thing. Let me show this to you. Oops. All right. So yeah, underneath here, I've got what is called a Rocket Store. It's a High Point Rocket Store Thunderbolt to USB 3 adapter, which allows me to plug in multiple USB devices like all of the cameras and take off a lot of the strain off of the computer. Some people use like a CalDigit TS3 to do that. This is one of the devices that I use for that. I got a CalDigit coming too. Right, so that's pretty much the majority of the tour, but there's one more place that I gotta show you, and it's like one of my favorite places in the office, and here it is. Yeah, it's my beanbag. It's kind of like my Jamaican flag, introvert's paradise right here. Yep, it's my hiding spot. Yeah, baby. So anyway, just that's the quick tour of the spot and of the space. On blackout curtains I've got here because sometimes the sun comes in and I really want to keep the lighting in here consistent for shoots, etc. So that's it. That's the tour. So that's it. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe to the channel where we tell you all about the techniques and the technologies of storytelling. I'll see you here tomorrow for day 8 of Vlogmas. Ready to go for a ride? Let's do it. Vlogmas!